Hey everybody, Joe Vanourney, Cherry the Geek TV. We are here at WonderCon 2023 and we are joined by Daniel Mah, who is the co-founder of Martial Club, and he was also the fight choreographer for Oscar-winning Everything Everywhere All at Once. Daniel, welcome to Cherry the Geek TV.
Thank you for having me. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I can't take all the credit. My teammates Andy Lee and Brian Lee. We started Martial Club together, and together I think we breathed a lot of life into the action that made Everything Everywhere All at Once what it was.
So for those that don't know you, give people a sense of your background. What is Martial Club? How did you kind of get started, and how did those steps lead to getting hired to be one of the fight choreographers for Everything Everywhere All at Once?
An excellent question. So we are a martial arts filmmaking group that is dedicated towards spreading the culture, the virtues and ethics of martial arts to the world through film. And we're inspired by the action films from Hong Kong in the 1970s, 1980s, so those kung fu movies. And we kind of represent a form of action making that's not so common nowadays. And when Daniels were dreaming up their movie, Everything Everywhere All at Once, they recognized that they wanted a style of action that is virtually impossible to find in today's filmmaking landscape. So when they recognized that we had it, they jumped on it, and they set up a meeting. They said, we need you guys. And they were very specific about what they needed, and they insisted that it was specifically us. And when we recognized their passion as filmmakers, we realized it was an opportunity we couldn't pass up.
Had you done other things on film that they had seen? Like what had they seen that brought you on their radar?
Right, so it was actually a very specific short film that we had made and put up on YouTube. It was an homage to the Jackie Chan film Drunken Master. So we did our own rendition, and Andy and Brian were in this one. They did a fight scene in the forest, paying homage to the different styles that made Jackie Chan's film so iconic in the first place.
So there's different stages to this production of Everything Everywhere All at Once, right? So you get hired. You do the previs fight choreography. Tell people explain what that is, what previs is.
Right. So nowadays, because thanks to digital media and a lot of innovations in the field, we can film shot for shot our vision of the action. We choreograph it and we can film it the way that we would want to shoot it, the way that reads the most legibly, and we can use it as a reference for the directors to use, for the actors to learn the choreography, and for the stunt coordinators to plan around, and we call it pre-visualization. So a lot of times we will get our own stunt team members to play the characters who will be on screen on the day, and we shoot it as if we were shooting it on the day with the same shot compositions, the same choreography, the same timing, and we can lock it in and present it to the directors to let them know that it works.
So everything's kind of set up before you start shooting. Is there any kind of improvisation once they get on the sets, or is this all pretty much locked down before the cameras roll?
I think it speaks to the nature of martial arts and martial arts action. It is a living, breathing thing. Therefore, improvisation will always be part of it. The things that inform actors in the moment, that can't be, you can't fake that, and it happens all the time, and that's what makes it wonderful. So definitely it came out during the previous process, and definitely it happens on set, and it results in what you see on the screen.
So I'm curious to talk about the film itself and the trajectory that the film had after it was made, and as somebody who was involved with the production of the film and getting to kind of watch that evolution. So the film, let's just start with the film's release.
Right.
It was released almost a year ago. It was met with great reviews. Audiences seem to love it for a A24 indie film. Right. It did very well at the box office. As someone who was involved with the production of the film, as that film was getting released, what was your reaction?
Honestly, it's like living a dream. I've told the story many times, but I never get tired of telling it. We were making the film. We knew it was quirky, but we also knew it was injected with passion. So when Andy Lee asked me, how do you think this film's going to do? I said, I think it's going to have a cult following, but I don't know if it's going to win an Oscar. And here we are 3 years later, and I'm eating my words very, very thoroughly. But seeing it gain momentum, being there at the release of the film into the world and seeing how people were reacting to it and watching pillars being knocked down, because these pillars represent a lot of things that we thought were impossible in film and in the landscape of cinema. And this movie just gained momentum like a rolling stone and knocked all of them down. And to see it clean shop like that at the Oscars was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, so let's move into that awards season. The film awards season comes. It's getting nominated for the Golden Globes. It's getting nominated for the SAG Awards. Michelle Yeoh upsets the front runner Cate Blanchett at the SAG Awards, and then the momentum kind of shifted towards her. The supporting actor category, I think, seemed like it was pretty much locked all season. What was it like watching that progression through award season, and then Oscar night where it won, all the major awards?
Yeah. Honestly, it reaffirmed my faith in a lot of different things. The strength of the human spirit, perseverance, because there were so many feel-good stories that night. Michelle Yeoh, who's been at it for decades, Quan, who's been at it for decades, and I'm pretty sure they're used to decades worth of people telling them this will never happen. And seeing it happen before my eyes, seeing it unfold in such an epic way, I'm feeling chills just talking about it right now. But it speaks to a lot of people because it shows that you should never give up, especially when you believe in it and when you have the passion to carry you through. All you got to do is keep showing up at that point.
You're here today at WonderCon. You're going to be part of a panel on diversity in films and television and the progression of Asian Americans on film. Talk about that and how you see the progress that's been made over the past few years.
Yes, I think diversity is a wonderful thing because film as a medium has so much potential. It has the ability to inspire and change lives and change the way we see the world. And there's so many things, so many stories, so many aspects about this world that are wonderful, and people have no way to find out about them, and sometimes film is the only way. So to introduce new stories, new types of people, new cultures, and new possibilities into film, I think is so important. And to be able to throw martial arts into that conversation is an absolute honor.
We're almost out of time. Before we go, anything coming up that we can look forward to?
I'm not sure how much I can say just yet, but we have a lot of things cooking. And I do mean it when I say that this is just the tip of the iceberg as far as what martial arts can do for film and what Martial Club has to do for the martial arts subgenre of film. So keep your eyes peeled. Martial Club is far from done.
Well, thank you so much for chatting with us. Daniel Mah, Cherry the Geek TV. Stay tuned for more coverage here at WonderCon 2023.